What's going on, everyone? This is Jay Nasty. I'm here at 610 Motorsports, and today I want to let you guys know why I think the RX8 is one of the best drift chassis you could buy today. So first thing I want to talk about, just the overall package that you get with the RX8. RX8s are rotary motors. They love to be revved high. They love to be abused. They have a superior suspension for their age, great handling, 50-50 weight distribution. I think it was actually one of the best handling cars in its class. They have a really strong LSD. I've been shredding my car for a while now, and I've never found a need to weld the diff. Both wheels spin. It rips in third gear, fourth gear. A lot of the common drift chassis you see, there's not really an option but to weld the diff. So I just like it because I can daily it just fine. I'm not screeching around turns, and it just saved me time and money, really. So that's just one good thing. It has a strong LSD. You don't need to weld the diff. The RX8 also has a caliper style e-brake, which I love. A lot of common drift cars, you're going to see them having drum brake setups, and that's why you're pretty much forced to have a hydro. I'm not a believer in the fact that you have to have a hydraulic e-brake to drift. RX8, you got the stock lever, it goes to a cable, and that cable goes to a caliper. So you get pretty much instant response. So just the fact that you could get into drifting without having to weld your diff and put a hydro in, just starting off with the car, you're getting a great deal. You got a car that loves to be abused, it loves to be revved high, it handles great, it has a good LSD, you don't need to weld the diff, it has a caliper style e-brake, you don't really have to do a hydro, you're already ahead of the game with the RX8. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the minimal amount of mods that you need to get these things drift ready on the track. Assuming you already pre-mixed your gas and got rid of the catalytic converter, because everyone knows catalytic converters are terrible for the rotary motors. Just get rid of the cat, put on a mid-pipe. You pre-mix your gas, you get rid of your cat, you got coilovers, because you want to have some type of control over your ride height and over your suspension settings, and also the switched fan. There's a lot of videos on YouTube you could look up on how to run your fan to a switch, so that when you get in your car, you turn it on, you flip the switch, you turn on your fans, and they both run on full blast as soon as you turn the car on. You don't need to wait for the car to get up to temperature to have your fans running. They're just always running. Assuming you've did all that, there's only a couple mods that you need to do to really get this thing track ready. So the first thing I recommend you guys do if you really want to turn your RX8 into a ripper is just get the 588 diff gears. RX8s come stock with a 444. A lot of people swap out their diffs with the RX8 R3 diff. That has a final drive ratio of 477, I believe. And then there's a few other options if you look online. I think there's a 5.1. I went with the 588. It's the most aggressive gearing you can find. You're not going to be going as fast on the highway. You're going to be screaming. If you're going about anything over 70, you're screaming. But if you're cool with that, you're cool with having like a drift car, the 588 gears is the way to go. It's going to make your RX8 go from feeling like it has 100 horsepower to 300 horsepower, and I'm not lying when I say that. I'm not saying that the 588 gears are going to make your car fast as hell, but you're going to be able to break the tires in every gear, I promise you. So once you have the 588 gears, the last things you really need to do are cut and weld your knuckles, and I would recommend going 17-inch wheels. There's a guy named Tanner, I believe. He goes by RX8 Drift Knuckles on Instagram. If you have your stock knuckles, you can mail them out to him. He'll cut and weld them, mail them back. You can even message him. Sometimes he has knuckles in stock that he'll cut and weld for you and mail them right to your door. What I did, I actually just kind of referenced off of his page what he was doing with them. We cut and welded my knuckles. The amount of angle that you're going to gain from the cut and welded knuckles is ridiculous. And they don't make too many aftermarket parts for drifting for the RX8. The main option out there is WiseFab, and spending over $3,000 for a whole angle kit if you're not a pro spec driver is kind of ridiculous to me. You're going to be spending more on an angle kit than the whole car's worth. Just for grassroots drifting, learning, having fun, you're going to be just fine with the cut and welded knuckles. The angle that it gives you is serious. I went with the 17-inch wheels just to make a little more clearance for the angle. Also, in the front wheel well, ball peen hammer and a grinder. You're going to want to do some modifications up there to really make sure you have clearance for your angle. I also went with the 17-inch wheels because it's less rotational mass. So it's just basically making the car a little more responsive, lighter wheels, smaller, more clearance, all around. I think it looks better. We got the MB Battles on the front. They're 17 by 9.5s with a plus 12 or plus 15 offset. On the rear, I got the Kansei KMP. They're a 17 by 9 with a 35 offset. I just threw a spacer on there. Spacers on the front too. Everything just to dial it in for exactly how I need my car to ride. But so pretty much all you really need to do to these cars is do 588 gears and cut and weld your knuckles. Throw on some 17s if you want, and you pretty much have a track-ready drift car. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is just RX8 reliability. They get a ton of hate because they're rotaries, and I really don't understand it. I just think it's a lot of people just misinformed. Out of all the cars I've had, this has always been the most reliable one. The thing is, they're like a 2-stroke dirt bike. They have a shorter lifespan, and you're gonna have to rebuild them eventually. But if you can live with that, you're gonna have a reliable car if it's built correctly. This thing has never really let me down. Besides one time got stuck for an alternator, and the other time I blew a coolant seal. Even with the blown coolant seal, I was able to drive it to my buddy's shop where we swapped the motor. So a lot of people say a lot of stuff they don't really understand things about, and that's fine because the RX8 price is down right now, and that's another reason why I think you should go and get one. If anyone has any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram at J93Nasty, and hopefully I'll see you guys out on the track soon.
Let's go, Nasty! Yo! Oh, in the dirt! Oh. Holy shit! We'll assess the damage later. Oh, that's damage. Damn. That's damage. Now we're just bottomed out. Your wheel's still on. You're good. We just gotta get you out.